What's up, Summoners? King Blair here. Today, we're going to be talking about the current banner hero, Summertime Iseria, who is a limited hero, as well as Sermia, who you can actually get for free by clearing the Hunt Expert challenges, and you can get her, Vivian, and Sigrid. So, the only reason you would really be pulling for her is going to be if you wanted imprints for your ML Sermia or for your regular Sermia. You know, some people really like Sermia. But we're going to be talking about breaking down the kits real quick and all that good stuff. As always, the video will be split up into sections that you can skip around, where first we'll do a summary of the heroes as well as talk about the general what's to come. Then we'll actually go specifically into each of the heroes and talk about their kits and whether or not you should pull for them. And for Sermia, I actually do have mine built for PvE, so I will be showing her build on that. But before we get into it, we have a word from our sponsor, so let's go to that. So, if you hadn't seen from the official Epic 7 website or from a lot of the other different content creators, you can actually get Epic 7 now on the Amazon Appstore using the link down in the description to help your boy out quite a bit. But you may be wondering, what is it and why should I download it, right? What's this all about? So, first, what is it? Because I wouldn't recommend you something if I didn't think it was actually worth your time. But what it is essentially going to be another app so we can get the app and actually get some pretty sweet deals whenever you spend on the App Store and on the games that you're playing. In this case, most likely going to be Epic 7, right? Which is actually going to be on there, right? So where can you get it? What devices can you do it? It works for any Windows 11 device, which means you can actually download the Amazon App Store from your Windows 11 computer, and you can get it straight through there. No need for emulator. You're able to just get the Amazon App Store on your computer and get the game there, which is really sweet, right? It's really nice to be able to do that. But you may be like me and don't have Windows 11 yet. Does that mean you can't get these awesome deals from the Amazon App Store? No, you can actually still get it on any Android device as well. So this tablet that I'm actually recording this video on actually already has the Amazon App Store, and it does help you through those steps if you follow the link and all that good stuff. And if you need any help, make sure to ping me in the Discord and I'll help you as much as I'm able to. And you should be able to get the Amazon App Store and get Epic 7. But okay, let's say you did all of this and you were able to get it on your emulator, on your Android tablet, or on your computer Windows 11 device. Why? What should you do afterwards? Why would you want to do this? Well, you're actually going to be getting some pretty sweet deals with 20% off a lot of your purchases using Amazon coins. Essentially, if you think about it, whenever you buy a Leaf pack or if you buy Mystic pack or those specialty packs, you get 20%. So for example, the collaboration packs are usually $100. But now you can get that same value for $80, right, with the Amazon coins. That's a pretty sweet deal, right? That's really good, and long term that really helps a lot, especially if you're a dolphin or a whale. Now, for the people that are light spenders and free to play, what do you get out of it? Well, at the end of the day, there are times that you'll eventually get some money to spend in the game, and you want to make sure you're getting the most out of it to be able to optimize, right? You don't want to just waste money. Sometimes, you know, back in the day when I used to get gift cards for Amazon, I didn't know really how to use them. Because it's through the Amazon App Store, if you get an Amazon gift card now, you can actually use the Amazon gift card to get some of the coins to actually spend on the game, right? So it's actually pretty nice if you ever get a gift and you don't have anything you really want to order through Amazon, you don't have anything you want, it's a pretty nice way to spend it and have a little bit of fun, right? So it's definitely something I recommend you guys getting. It's super nice, super long-term, amazing benefits to actually be able to get 20% back on your spending, which is, I just want to let you guys know. But with that out of the way, make sure you go through it and get it. It's going to be pretty awesome. But yeah, let's go to the top 5 from there. So if you're wondering how to download, I also do have a video that I will be tagging down in the bottom if you wanted to see how the kind of the Amazon App Store looks like to get a better idea, how to get the coins. I don't want to spend too much time because I do want to get to the video, but essentially you can actually download on Windows 11, right? And this is how it will look like if you have Windows 11, if you have the Amazon App Store. Yeah, you can see all the apps you have down there. You can find Epic 7 and you can kind of see how you can get the coins. Again, I will post this video down in the description so you get a better idea on how it works and all that good stuff. It should again work with BlueStacks and all the different emulators and with all the Android devices, but again, it does work with Windows 11. But let's now go into the video. So now, as far as a summary of the heroes, as well as where we are as far as summons, Summer Iseria is going to be a limited hero, and summer hero units don't come out, it's once a year, pretty much, right? So it will be a very long time before she comes back. I highly recommend you get her. You also hopefully have enough saved up to get CSI Bellona, because she's also just an incredibly good unit for PvE and for PvP. And Holiday Eufine, not as needed, but if you like to fill the book, she's not going to come up for a year. She does pop up here and there as a counterpick unit against certain cleave teams. But the other thing is that there is a very, and I mean very high chance we are getting a new Summer Limited. It's most likely going to be Alexa. They have kind of teased it. I highly doubt it's an SE. It will most likely be a new unit, and it will most likely be Alexa, right? So just keep in mind that there is a good chance that will come, and a new summer unit will come, right? So just keep that in mind if you're thinking you may want to wait on pulling the other heroes. But Summer Iseria is actually a pretty good hero. So as far as summary on Summer Iseria herself, very, very solid PvP unit. I don't think she has any PvE uses, because she's primarily going to be comboing off with AoE heroes and utilizing bombs to do her job. One thing you have to know about Summer Iseria, and this may change some people's minds of actually getting her, is going to be that you absolutely need the artifact, right? And ideally, you want the artifact maxed out. A maxed artifact Summer Iseria becomes basically an A+ unit. She's incredibly good in Arena and in Guild Wars when you combo her off with some AoE heroes, as well as being pretty solid in RTA. At one point, she kind of dominated the cleave meta in RTA. Now, she's not as strong, but she's still very, very threatening. People do have ways to actually deal with her because she was so scary at some point. And some people actually did use her as a bruiser, right? Some people didn't even use her in a cleave. She actually does pretty decent. But if you don't have this artifact maxed out, she becomes a B tier unit, right? And you need the artifact. If you're getting her, get the artifact from the shop. If you can't get her and her artifact, she's honestly not that great of a unit, right? She has to have her artifact, and ideally she has to have them artifact maxed out, which is a pretty high requirement, and it's something you should know about her. But if you do have it, she's pretty great. I used to use her a lot for Guild Wars, not as much anymore. But for Arena and for RTA, you can still use her. She's pretty fun. She's really, really great combo unit, and as more units come out, there's a very good chance you're going to get better, because she just combos so well with AoE cleaves, right? It's just very amazing unit. I still think she's a solid pickup option, and she's limited. As far as Sermia, you actually, as I mentioned, are able to get her for free if you do your hunt events, hunt missions. You can actually get all three. I already got my Secret, and I'm going for Vivian now, for ML Vivian, and then I'm going to get the Sermia for an imprint. Hopefully, I'll get ML Sermia at some point in my lifetime. But the only reason you would pull for Sermia is if you wanted Sermia imprints, right? That's the main reason you pull for her if you really liked it. But again, there's all these limited heroes that are on their way. I don't recommend going for Sermia imprints. But she's a really, really good PvE hero, right? I actually use my Sermia a lot, and I'll show her when we actually talk about her. Again, it's very easy build to do, and she's really, really good at a lot of different hunts and a lot of different PvE content like Holo Trials, just because she does such high single target damage, right? And she just combos so well. As far as this Lucky Week dash pack, just a quick word on it. I do not think it's worth it, mainly because you don't get to pick where your 5-star hero is, right? It's completely random, or your artifact. There's a very high chance you're going to get a dupe and be disappointed. I don't want to be disappointed with $30, right? So I don't recommend this. I need to update the what is worth it in the shop video for the people that do spend. And if you do spend, make sure you're using that Amazon link, right? See, that's what it's for. But again, I would not recommend this. It's not really worth it. Just getting a random 5-star hero and a random 5-star artifact most likely is not going to be something you want, right? Which is not a position you want to be. It's going to make you mad. It's going to make you feel like you wasted your money. I don't recommend it, but again, for the people that do want it. But now to go more in depth into each of the heroes, first we're going to be looking at Summer Iseria because she's limited and why she actually needs her artifact so much. So if you wanted to see for Summer Iseria, she's going to have very high attack. This is going to be because of her passive and pretty okay health, pretty okay defense, which is why some people actually have tried her as a bruiser, and she works decent in that aspect. She actually does work pretty decent, and she does have some effectiveness. The attack does go up more because she does get that extra attack on her passive, so it will go up more when you actually Mulagora this skill, and she does get more attack from her, or she gets effectiveness from her imprint, which will let her land the bombs. But let's actually look at her kit. By the way, I always liked her design. I think it looks really cool. Iseria is one of my favorite units. I really do want to use my Summer Iseria more. It's just that I don't have many cleave teams built to use her. And people are getting way too fast. Like Pero just made things so freaking fast that it made it hard. You know, it made it hard to do certain things. But again, she can't actually combo with Pero, right? And that was actually a thing for a while. But first, it's going to be this one, which is just going to be dispelling a buff with a 75% chance. Nothing really crazy, right? It actually looks pretty bad. And she does get a free soul burn. And it doesn't say it here, but her soul burn gives an extra turn. This skill, pretty pretty garbage, right? On its own. With the artifact, this skill actually becomes pretty good because you get a dispel and then you get to land the bomb, right? So this is like the bread and butter. Without the bomb artifact, it's honestly like this S1 does nothing, right? So if you don't have that artifact maxed out, you're not landing those bombs, you're getting 15% it, and you're not getting the max because there's a chance you just won't get it if it's not maxed out, which is why it is a pretty intensive artifact type deal, and you will most likely have to powder it unless you get extremely lucky when you're pulling for her or how deep you're going for her. But without the bomb artifact, this is a trash skill, right? It's just a 2 buff dispel. With the bomb though, it becomes a 2 buff dispel into a bomb, and it looks so weird to not be able to see the bombs because I'm so used to her S1 landing it, because you have to get the artifact. Just know that you have to get the artifact. Her S2 is going to be her bread and butter, and the reason why I think she's going to be a unit that's going to be good for a while and has a chance to come back up in different metas as the game goes on. First, because you get the attack, right, with the no crit, which is actually what combos off so well with her artifact, right? The other one's going to be when the caster, except for the ally, uses an AoE attack, you activate the skill. There's no way to activate it now. They still have to update that in the journal where you can actually use a random AoE skill with a different ally. I wish they already had that. But essentially, she will trigger a skill and she'll put two bombs on 2 random enemies, not the same one. So it'll go like on one and the other, right? So you get 2 targets, we'll get a bomb on them. Assuming you don't get 50% it does not ignore effort. So you can't get 15% effect resisted. And you also get a nice little CR push of 15%, right? So the reason why she's so good and why she's such a good combo tool is because she uses a non-attack skill, which combos off with Ida, right? Because you're able to push her up. It also gives you a 15% CR push. So after you do an AoE attack, your AoE attacker doesn't have to have setup, right? You can just open with the para. Let's say your para does S2. Well, now your Summer Iseria is going to trigger the skill and push you up 15%, even though para doesn't have a push-up. She kind of pseudo becomes a push-up. Same thing with Rand, right? Rand goes, strips everyone, D-breaks, does all this stuff, and then it triggers her. You get 2 bombs, and you get to push your team up, right? It's very wombo combo-y, right? And bombs is a pretty good debuff. Bombs, when triggered, they pop, do a pretty good amount of damage that does ignore defense up to a certain point. I believe it's like 75%, and does damage based on her attack, and she has bigger attack, right? Which is why she doesn't need to crit. So pretty good. And when the bomb explodes, that part does ignore FRS, that it will stun, right? So as long as you land the bomb, it will stun. It's a very, very good combo. And then you get to the S3, which is going to be the way you actually pop those bombs, where you do the S3 because you pushed up, you do the soul burn, the artifact triggers, you had an extra bomb, so now 3 targets have a bomb potentially, or 1 target has 2 bombs, and then you come in with your S3 and you're able to pop those bombs, do a bunch of damage, stun the enemy, get attack break, and just kind of tear to the team, right? And all it takes is another soul burn. So if you bring a mage and you're able to do a double soul burn, you actually will get that other AoE to apply 2 bombs, right? Pretty disgusting control. It is, if you don't have a way to deal with Summer Iseria, she actually feels pretty oppressive, right? And she used to be pretty oppressive at one point in RTA when there was no 2 prevents, and there was a lot of units that, there was not many units that could actually deal with her. Now, Celine, Polides, right? There's a lot of ways you can actually deal with her, but cleavers typically will pick Polides. She's still a menace. It is still pretty difficult. The reason people don't like her that often is because she's not 100%, right? There's a chance you miss all bombs, and it happens more than you would like it to, right? So pretty good, right? Still a really, really cool unit. Still a wombo combo unit. Still does a lot. Have to get the artifact, right? But overall, I very much do like her. And then as far as Sermia, I'm not going to go over her too much because, again, she's pretty easy and she's been around for a long time, but I do want to talk about her in case you're wondering what she does, right? And in case you do want to actually finish her off, right? Because I actually do like Sermia. So Sermia is going to be another high attack hero. She can actually crit. And as you see, pretty decent HP and defense, pretty good crit rate, right? Pretty good stat line. She also does have an EE that gives her even more attack. And it also is going to let you get a barrier or reset your cooldowns, which is going to be the main ones, or let you get a random chance to attack with your S1 twice, which is pretty helpful for things like all trials. And she can actually get more attack off of her imprints. But as far as her skills, she's going to be primarily for PvE. PvP at one point she may have been able to, but now there's too many speed threats. It's not worth building a speed Sermia. But as far as the S1, you can actually just go in, boop, do a little bit of unhealable, nothing too crazy. It's basically just damage. It does a lot of damage. If you give her the EE, she has a chance to do this skill twice, and it does do quite a bit of damage, but her main bread and butter is going to be the S2, which essentially gives her greater attack buff, right? And for this skill, it can also reset your S3 cooldown if it resets your S2 S3 cooldown, so you're able to open with S3, then use this skill and use S3 again. The other thing that it does is it does give you the extra turn, and if you give her the EE, she can't actually get a barrier, right? Which is pretty nice. But again, pretty basic. Just get attack buff, great attack buff, and an extra turn, and reset your S3 cooldown. And your S3, it's a nice little big damage skill where you penetrate the target's defense by 50%, and you're just doing damage. The reason she's so cool is because you can just come in with this S3, right? Do really, really solid single target damage, and you can come in the next turn, do this S2, get S3 back up, get to S3 back again, and it just gets so nasty. You can pair up with things like Tamarine and PvE, and Tamarine will give her the attack buff and extend that gap. You'll pull her in with an S1 so she can S1 twice, right? And she's just doing crazy good single target damage. Very great Holo Trials hero. I use her for my Katie's hunt. She's my main DPS hero with Tamarine combination. Just a lot of single target damage, Holo Trials. I mean, again, it's just mostly going to be PvE situations, right? But let me actually show my Iseria. It's not really too difficult to build her. It's just going to be damage, right? It's basically damage, and you bring her with something like Lilius or Conquer Lilius. You bring her for Labby, just for funsies, right? And this is my Iseria. I do have a pretty high imprint, and yeah, it's just basically all attack, right? All attack. I usually do put her on Hell Cutter, which is why you're wondering why it's not 100%. I do put her on Hell Cutter. Hell Cutter gives her attack and crit rate, and she just kind of goes and just pops. Sometimes when I'm doing Katie's hunt, I will actually switch the set if I wanted to make faster runs, and I will give her my penetration set instead of crit rate set, and again Hell Cutter. But usually I do give her pen set when I am trying to do Katie's hunt a lot. I will give her the pen set, and she does a little bit more damage. I think she gets up to like 65,000 attack on the pen set and 300 C damage. It gets pretty high up there, right? But again, usually Hell Cutter. Right now, I'm not using her, so I just have her on spare gear. But she still helps a lot. I still use her in PvE here and there. But yeah, that's going to be it. All I got for you guys today. I hope y'all enjoyed. Good luck on all your summons. I hope that y'all are able to get all the limited heroes. If y'all are wondering, if you made it this far, if you're wondering why my video schedule is kind of messed up, I'm actually way busier than I expected. Hopefully, I always say this, hopefully I'll clear up a little bit and I'll be able to get back with you guys. I do want to start streaming again in the future. Most likely not going to be until August or September, but I do plan to try to keep uploading. Make sure you guys still know I'm doing okay. But that's all I got for you guys today, and I will see you next time. Peace.